So if you can't, then the mic's gone. So how is everyone? Let me know in the comments. Where are you from? What's happening in your life? How was your full moon in Taurus? So what we are now, that was 15th was Friday, 16th, 17th, we're 18th. Tomorrow you've got Pluto moving into Aquarius. This 20-year cycle that we're moving into, I just want to briefly mention because it's quite a biggie. When you think about the last time we were in this 20-year period, you had things like the French Revolution happening. It's a very revolutionary energy. This time it's linked with Aquarius in a way that is technology moving really quickly. So over a 20-year cycle, to me, this air sign, it's sound, it's frequency, it's vibration. This might not happen. I mean, for example, the French Revolution was 12 years into that. So you might argue that, well, who's to say that that was the reason then within that cycle? But there's many other places in time where we've had this similar energy and major stuff happening. But the big thing, I want to focus on the positive shifts and changes, like this renaissance of creativity. And I want us to tap into that as this is the closest meditation to that alignment, remembering that this astrology, it's already there. Like it doesn't happen yet, it's there on that pinnacle. Yes, that's a point of changeover, but they're like ships, the galactic energies, as they move in slowly and then they move out, you've got this kind of like slow turning of the wheel. So with an intention for today's session of where can we revolutionize our lives to be the best person that we can be, to be in that kind of doing more for the environment, helping, and how our activity and our drive can kind of push us to be the best person that we can be, which we're all about on this channel. In all ways, that means seeing our shadows, which we've had a lot of, in its earthly fashion. And obviously with this we're kind of still in that energy of the full moon, really, a few days in after that moon, is Taurian energy. So that's can be luxury, but it's earth shifting, tectonic shifts, it's physical bodily shifts, and how you might be seeing changes in your own body, changes on the physical level. So with that in mind, let's create a little space with our meditation practice, with our breath. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by any shifts and changes, if you are wanting to make a kind of space for you to just allow you to breathe, a breathing room, we open this in that sense of, I'm in my little bubble in my car as well, not very holistic background to it, but that's what I'm all about. It's about knowing that you don't have to be in these beautiful surroundings to connect to you. You can do it wherever you need to do it. So I invite you to close your eyes and to go within by taking 3 deep breaths, Qigong breaths. So in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose, and then 3 subsequent breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, with the sound of a So let's just start with that. Better out than in. And one for joy. And one more breath in. And now breathing in and out through the mouth with a relaxing into the heart energy, taking your awareness into the heart energy, taking the hand to the heart to remind you of that heart space, Maybe another hand to the belly, to the lower dantian. And again, a few more. Keeping that rhythm of your breath, just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Now, if you prefer to just breathe out through the mouth, that's fine. But I invite you to just breathe in Qigong breath more through the nose, in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice, steady in breath like this. So, and by doing this kind of breathing, the Qigong breath, you are working and telling the body, signaling to your nervous system that you don't need fight or flight. You don't need to take in more oxygen. You don't need to use the mouth to take in more oxygen. Fast breathing, signaling that there's an issue and that fight or flight system kicking in. You want to be in that calm state, rhythmic state, bringing and boosting your immune system is the way I like to think of it. When you breathe, the slower you breathe, the longer you live, the slower you breathe, the calmer you can be. So just allowing that breath, that flow in, flow out, and again with our intention, then whether you have a daily intention for today's session or not, it's entirely up to you, bringing that in now. Calling in and an awareness, a connection, and allowing yourself to connect to your 12D filter, the layers of the wholeness that is you. Go through an imaginary light coming down through the top of the head, going down, rooting and grounding through the feet. And as you're breathing in the next in-breath, feel that light drawing up through each of the legs, up the central column, or our lightsaber column of our being, and coming out and flowering like little fireworks at the top, coming around the body in a circle, in a bubble, in a lattice-shaped bubble, that a breathable fabric, breathing in, breathing out. And if it helps you, take your hands in front of you. You don't need a lot of space. I've not got a lot of space here. And just as if you're holding a ball, and with your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Pulse the hands in time with your breath to give the body and the monkey mind something to focus on as we move in to the creative visualization a little bit further. So feeling that pulsing with the hands. You can drop the hands by the side if you wish, or continue, whatever feels right for you. There's no wrong way or right way. Keeping that focus, keeping that image, if you're dropping the hands, of pulsing light with the breath. And the frequency, like the waves, the symbol of Aquarius, of sound, of movement through air. Breathing in, breathing out with our breath. And I heard, who was it? I think it was Pam Gregory talking about this, saying that she'd seen the Sanskrit, or the Indian word for Aquarius, was very similar to the word for breath. And we think of breath and life. And as we say in Latin, it's in spirite, breathe in. Breathe in fresh chi, fresh prana, fresh ki. Reiki in Japan, or prana in India, and chi in China, and all of those Eastern practices. They're all tools to connect to the energy flow of yourself, of the greater part of you that we are all always connected to, but just in stillness, in this moment, we come back to the awareness of the fullness of who we are and remember this. We breathe it into every part of us, every cell. If you're Reiki attuned, you might want to add your symbols in. And again, that's just a tool, a focus, to focus the energy. And as it's Aquarius, really, it's like, okay, I was planning one thing, I'm being shown we're going to go in a different direction. Still opening to that revolutionary energy of revolutionizing ourself for the highest good of humanity, of our being, of our life, and our path. As we've walked through, these are the words I want to share. As we've walked through our portals, we've stepped through a different state of being into kind of an antenna situation. We can pick up different radio signals. If any of you remember that kids' movies, the upgrade that when they go into puberty from joy and sadness, I can't remember the name of the movie, but then the console gets upgraded. Think of it in terms of your console of your body, your vessel is being upgraded, has been upgraded. And now you've got access to these other realms or other levels, these other emotional fields, these other physical fields. You can see more than you could see before. It's like your body's been enhanced just with your own intention by opening up to the fullness that is you. And as you go through the dials of the radio signal, as you experiment the sound, the frequency, the vibration, or as we sort of talk about in more esoteric terms, the activation, the download, the light codes, same thing. Light and sound in combination are working through you. Now, if that doesn't resonate, that's fine. Just breathe and sit and hold space with the sacred aspect that is the fullness of you, however you want to call that. But the images and the sounds that I'm being guided to share with you in the spirit of this more Aquarian, Plutonian, of shaking things up, is shaking me up in a sense of being comfortable in how we are able to share this. So I'm going to do that with what I call love language, or others may call light language. To me, it's the frequency of the soul, and for each of us is different. Every sound is a package of information that sets off a tuning fork or a reminder of who we are in the fullness of the self, and going beyond the ego, beyond the concepts of the mind, if you like, to a more intangible, freer side of the self that sparks the creative imaginary, and links. It's between the bridge of the hippocampus. So just breathe through it, through the nose, out through the nose, feeling safe in this space for you, for me, for all who hear in the now moment, or whenever their now moment of viewing is. I am open and receptive to the highest aspect of me. I share that now. Niakturo nia hatayatira numiana. Iuruma ikurumba. Eheti uruma kiatayu. Undumbiaya tayaturumba. Eturumba iuna. Ikurumba tira tatayuko. Ekayuturumai tayita. Eonumaya tatea. E kumamamekio kupukon kaita. E kuro kumahatea. E ayuto maya tutukumara. E he na yuro kumayeta yitai. Shukumai Kataya, Hana Hana Hikia, na Yudurukuma, Kaaya Turuko, La Kanurumaya, Eta Aana Eana Ea, Hatate, Ikayuru Mamate, Ikurukuma Kishira Turopa, La Tatayuru Koporokumaya, Ehepia Nada. Nehete kumamame kayita yutum ekayutu etunamaya ikuma ekia amiata emiamiatotum. Miru yurulupa miru lukurum bitayurum. Ihina iolulukumaha eokurumai kia enehetiohum eorumumikikayurumba neyenunumumata. Breathing and just feeling one with yourself, with your breath, the fullness that is you, bypassing ego of what it means. Listen to your own heart, your own emotional field, what's coming up, images, shapes and sounds within your being, within cortex of the mind, in how we interpret the sounds, the images, the feelings, the thoughts that they evoke. Ihini a luturu mahaye ekuru mahate tayi tayuruku irayana yuruturukuma ihinono meite. Breathe helaturu mahite inono meashala. Breathe at oneness with the soul and the fullness of yourself. Ikurumba, the self that is you, that is me, that is all of us. Eha hono maiete, ikuruma, etirakata, etiruru mahane. Ihinoro koro hopopiete, ituru mahayete. Ne kuru ho baena hehena hikuhu e kuru mai na yaturu umpaki kuru pa ena itira kolo era kuru kumai ne e kuru kumia haya e ha ne e ha ene ko ne sarala kuruma ni kurumba tatera ora nana yena e shurura lana e kuruma ki atayanana. Be grateful for the body, for the vessel, for that which is you in its fullness, is sacred, is beautiful. Ehanoma yakia tayurukuma. Treat it as such with the reverence that is in every cell and the spark of life, in the little capillaries, the bones, and the structures within you, in and all levels. Ila nuruma, ila doro dorshuruma, ita juruma little one. So I'm feeling a sense of being shown like a mother holding the child in awe at its birth as we are birthing into the remembrance of the fullness that is us, and reminding us to see the details of this joy of the changes and reveling in the changes as they happen. And Nurumeshkaya, Nurumaikalanana, from higher perspective, um, hold source, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it, Arcturian energy very much present in my mind, star family, galactic. Ayuruma Tayeturum holds us in high regard. Itan and is here for us to help us. In Kurumba Iti Urumba, as we demonstrate that which it is to be in fullness. Ikunumaya Andirasta, in fluidity. Ayurukumba Kira, in collaboration. Ehanurumba Ita Yushkuro Anadishkurula, because we are Ayurumaya Nurumo. Yeah, Lana, you right. It's like being home. It's a feeling lighter, fluffy, very present, very in the moment. I'm not off in a trance. I feel very much here, organically in the now, present with what is flowing through me. Ea nuru kumbatira ktatala, e shuronea tayuru mayaka, without resistance to the changes, the shifts. E kuro kumea, revolution, evolution. E oturu mayetishkana. Remembering revolution is a circle. It's a moving around. E aturu kumbayara. It's the process, the cycle. Ikuru kumbayara na. Inunu mayana naishkuna. It's the flow. Ayuru mayetetaya. E na nanira. Uru shura naishka. Uturu na. E naishira yanurukuma. Nihishira laturu mayata. Go beyond. Always this. I feel like I'm saying this all the time. Ingayasha, for me to go beyond, for you to go beyond our concepts of the known. Ikunumiashka, we will be pleasantly surprised at the shifts, at the changes. Ikunumeshka, some may be miyakuro kumiyayata. Ena yuturu turu madarayaya liyalakna ikurumbayata yushku, a process of understanding to go beyond, of embodying a path and a lesson in aligning ururu kushkurukma of our powers of observation and focus. Ikurukumaete, ikurumaete anunuma. Nihete. Okay. I feel like that's cutting short, but they said that the world is calling me back. That's fine. That's really weird. It's the time. No, there is no time. She said there is endless time, but the vessel, meaning me, is aware of the time in the now moment that I have to share. Blessings and thank you, gratitude to my family, my star sisters, brothers, being Eko future self. Okay, so regardless of whether that was a wonderful trip for you to just breathe through and feel the rhythm of the sounds of the words, whether it resonates, if it doesn't, just discount. It's shared with love and from the being of my soul. ayurukum hataya to demonstrate an anchor as an anchor. E turumba. Thank you. Thank you. Now, as it's to coming back, just as you've been spending that time making mental notes of what was coming through, if anything was coming up, any resistance thoughts, if you could write them down, or in meditation to sit with why does that trigger me, or just make mental note of that for possibly asking, questioning as a part of the process of connecting with you. Feeling activated on a soul level and connected to your heart, I invite you to just with me now with the intention of being anchored in the presence of that which is me and that which is you, to feel ourselves as that flowing out in oneness for the world, for wherever it needs to go, for any shifts in our own present life form, with the sacred respect of the divine understanding not to interfere with each and every one of us and our choice points, and our growth, but for there to be the highest good of humanity and that which is the path that you walk upon. As we move into this creative energy, this shifts, this technology, the true technology, the organic technology of the soul, in the next 20 odd years, we become more telepathic in understanding, in seeing that we are one in the same, and therefore not wanting to hurt that which is also us. That is the biggest path and lesson for us to learn in the next period of time. There is not a, we cannot force this, it must happen organically. Like a mother. Oh God, the amount of love that's coming through makes me want to cry. Like a mother who's watching her child fall down, you cannot, you can only be there to help and say, encourage. Yeah, yeah. You cannot walk for them. As much as that be a wish for many to run before you're ready to walk, that walking is part of the learning and the growth. And without that, you wouldn't know how to run, or have the strength in the body, in the physical, in the gravity, in the bones, in the density, in those bones to stand. Remember this when what you're seeing in your now moments seem hard. That doesn't mean there are not going to be many wonderful things that you see. Drinking tears, she says. Thank you. May your contrast be wrapped in love and gratitude. Thank you for your time. As I was starting to say, as I was disconnecting then from all that, just to ground a little bit, coming back into self, touch, body. It's brilliant. So, do you have a playlist? Light language. Yes, on this channel. Just go to the light language one. I think I put the videos. Most of them are on there. I hope you are well. Love and light. Yes, love and light to you as well. And also, it's not all about the light. There's a reminder of this because the shadows are us. We have to be able to witness without judgment the fullness that is us, and we are human. Remember what it is to be human and breathe through that. It's a message reminder. But I'm going to cut this short now. I think Mother Mary wanted me here. Registered blind and disabled. Bless you. Lots of shadow. Yes, but I'm sure you see more without that. If you see with the language of love and light, our frequency can see far more and hear far more. Friend of mine who is nearsighted, and he has a heart that hears and sees more than the norm. I feel as though we're going on beyond those senses as we start to wake up in other ways, that sometimes when that is taken away, it teaches us to be more telepathic. And yes, I feel that link, that Mother Mary energy is really linked to the deep bluey energy of what I think of as Victorian energy. And what's the other one? And some link it to, there's another angelic energy that it's linked to. I can't remember which one of them it is, but to me it's the frequency that I tune into and the energetics of that, and that those apparitions, if you like, or those images are more our concept that we put them into, in order for us to comprehend. But we're starting to get to a space where we can understand it on a more multi-dimensional level. But again, that's me putting my own concept on. I'm very much told from my guidance not to do that, because for each of us it means different, and every sound, that's why it's not a direct language. Every sound is a package of information, telepathically given, that means multiple things in depending on the resonance of the being it hits, in the depths of us and our own being. And we all are kind of like the music, or if you like, of the song, and each of us play a different note to that, in who we are. Oh, beautiful. Well, definitely feel that presence then. Well, blessings for you and your day. I must. Ooh. Oh, there we go. That's why I was being told for timing. So have a beautiful moment to catch up. And if you are looking for, there is a list on the channel, and you can go to play previous. I don't know. I don't like labeling it, but love language is what I prefer to call it, because it's the language of the heart for me. Because it goes beyond that which is. It's about teaching us, is what this is my interpretation, about going beyond that which is our ego and the words. It's more than words. It's the understanding of becoming more telepathic in our nature. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for your time.